Hey guys, it's John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. Welcome to Inspirations for Your Life. I'm glad you decided to pop in and join me here. Thanks so much for being here, whether you're with me at 8:05 p.m., 8:05 a.m., 3 a.m., 3 p.m., 6 a.m., 6 p.m. Doesn't really matter. Thank you so much for being here with me. We have a great master topic this week. We're talking a lot about music and our life. And our granular topic, I should say, for tonight, because you always know that we do that every single time. We actually, we have a granular topic which we actually go over, and so the granular topic for tonight, ladies and gentlemen, in case you're wondering, is something that's interesting, which is connecting with the rhythm and flow of life. So, in life, just like in music, rhythm plays a critical role in shaping our journey, whether it's the steady beat of our routine or the flow we find in the moments of creativity. Rhythm helps us to navigate both the highs and the lows, and learning how to adapt to life's changing tempos can bring balance, harmony, and consistency to everything we do. So, I invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. So life's beat, right? Just like a song has a beat, sync with it to stay grounded and present. We need to have a beat in our life. Yeah, we need to have a beat in our life, and that's not maybe hard to understand, but I'm telling you that it's something that you have to just get, and it's not something somebody can tell you. It's something you have to figure out. All right. So we all know what a good beat to a song is, right? And how that beat kind of influence us and makes us, do some amazing things. It can change our mood, our aspirations. It can change our motivation level, etc. Now, just like beat, we have a rhythm, right? What uh, good song doesn't have a rhythm? Rhythm as life structure, establishing a consistent rhythm, providing the foundation for success. You might know Stephen Covey and many others that talk about, the daily habits of success. And so it's important, ladies and gentlemen, to embrace success early and to set yourself up for success, to do what you need to do to basically come up with your plan, right? A wise person once said, and I agree with this, is that, you know, um, failing to plan is planning to fail. And that's absolutely the truth, ladies and gentlemen. So when we think about a song, it has to have a good beat, it has to have a good rhythm, right? And the consistency of it allows us to appreciate the music and also allows us to keep doing what we do almost naturally, like autonomously, without even thinking. Finding a flow in life is important. Embracing flow in your work, in your passions, in your personal life. It's important to find a flow. They call it the flow state. And when we are stuck in the flow state, we're able to be massively creative and we're able to do things with a fraction of the effort. So you might be asking me, John, and this is a very good question. How do I get in the flow state? Well, the flow state is something that many people have studied for a very, very long time. And the flow state allows us to just be attention to focus, challenge, being oriented to your promises, feedback, personal control, timelessness, peace, intrinsic motivation, disconnecting from physical needs, single-mindedness, etc. And so when we start to learn what the flow state is, it's like things just happen, like, and synchronicities become more prevalent in our life. And we start to pay attention to them, and then we start to respond to them. It's like, gee, the world is just working the way I want it to. And it could have done that in the past, but you were never in the flow state. embracing flow in your work, your passions, right? Because when we're in a flow state, effortless momentum just happens. We're able to make so many changes with just a very minimal amount of effort. All right. So another thing I want to talk about is adapting to rhythmic changes. So rhythmic changes happen a lot in music, right? When something has an intense moment, or maybe there's, let's say, a beginning, or there's an end, or there's a chorus, or what have you. So adapting to rhythmic is important, and these changes help us in life because life's tempo shifts, and mastering the ability to adapt makes the ride smoother, right? I mean, you wouldn't want to be in a car and not have it be able to take full advantage of the road by not having shock absorbers, right? So we adjust to rhythmic changes in our life, and we adjust to them in music. But if we don't know how to adjust, then it's like, how does this happen? How do we bridge? Because that's what a rhythm is and a flow is. It helps us to get from one point to another. I want to talk about something else, which is kind of interesting, and it's called a lock. Now, I'm not talking about a lock that you might have seen where you use a key to unlock it. No, I'm talking about a lock for a boat. So when you have to take a boat from, let's say, something that's a very low water channel and bring it up to a higher water channel, well, you can't just do that, by snapping your fingers. You have to have a mechanism to do that. So they have a lock. So what happens is a boat will basically drive into a lock. Sometimes gets more than one if it's a bigger lock. And then what typically happens is the boat pulls in, and then the door closes. And then they either fill the lock up with water if they're trying to raise the boat to another level. So they're going to fill the lock with water, and they have that water tight, shut, airtight door closes, and it fills up with water. And then when it's at that level, and it can take over from 15 to 30 minutes. And then what happens is they open the other door, and then the boat just glides right out. Same thing happens in reverse. If the boat has to get back to a lower level, the boat will pull in, the door will close, and then the water will be pumped out. And then when it's at the level of where it should exit, then it exits, and otherwise you'd have this big drop. I mean, you couldn't do that. So that's a certain flow, right? That's a certain rhythm. And so our life has rhythm, just like music has rhythm, just like so many things have rhythm, like the rhythm of a lock. I mean, you might not think of it as a rhythm, but it is. There's an ebb and there's a flow. If we don't do it right, then it could be a disaster, right? So flow creates a type of harmony. Now, we think about harmony in music as something that can be an accompaniment, such as if I'm singing one verse and you're singing another, I could sing another verse that could either be just after, like a repeating, like you all know the song "Row, Row, Row Your Boat," right? Right. Row, row, row your boat. So if you start row, row, row your boat, then row, 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 row. So what would happen is, as row, row, row your boat would go, and then row, 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 row. So right after the second row, then I start the row, and that'd be kind of like a round. And so that's one example of harmony. Another example of harmony is to sing the same verse a little higher or a little lower, depending on the music requirements. So music, as we're going to learn this entire week, is very, very powerful. And there's a lot that we can learn from it, not just that music can relax us. And we've talked about that in the past. So thinking about a flow, thinking about harmony, understanding a rhythm, right? When something is out of rhythm or out of beat, it's like, ugh, how do I do this, right? When something has that natural flow or that natural rhythm, it just seems natural. Let's take a waterfall, for example. Water just kind of flows down so naturally and easily. It does it without effort. Nature does everything without effort or very minimal effort. The last point I want to share with you is rhythmic consistency for progress. So consistent effort is the key to moving forward. You have to keep the beat steady, have consistent progress every day, and consistent growth. I know so many people that want to make huge leaps and bounds, okay, one day, but then the next day they don't want to do anything. So it's better to make consistent progress, because if you try to make a lot of progress in one day and you're not successful, then you might demotivate yourself. And then also you might get tired and not want to do it the next day. So it's important that you understand that consistency is key. You don't have to do 10 things, but do one or two things and do them every single day. You see, when we get into a flow state, our body likes the feeling. Our mind loves the feeling. And guess what? It wants to do more of that. So there's a flow state with your health. There's a flow state relationships, a flow state with everything. And so understanding the flow state is really connecting with things that are just natural. Okay? I think the best way to explain the flow state is that you are laser focused on one thing and you're doing something challenging but achievable. You're engaging in something you enjoy with the intrinsic motivation that comes from within, and your passion is the crystal clearness of it. You get the immediate feedback, you feel a sense of control, you lose any feelings of self-consciousness, and you lose track of time, and you feel connected to what you're doing, and you're at peace. You might end up forgetting about physical needs. So when we learn to develop a flow state, I can tell you one thing. We want to keep being in the flow state. So what can get us out of the flow state? Oh, it could be other people, could be our environment, but it's our job to make sure that we stay in the flow state. If people are causing us to get out of the flow state, maybe we need to not be around those people. If certain environments are causing us to get out of the flow state, maybe we need to stop being in those environments, right? And so a flow state is a very natural way that our body can just sort of glide through life. Very similar to the way I described that lock, right, with the boat. What would happen if a boat pulled in, right, and all of a sudden they opened the other door and suddenly there was like a 10-foot drop? Well, that would be a serious problem. So in life, when we get these types of big drops, we have to put them in a flow state. We have to go from one to the other, but we have to do it in such a way that it doesn't shock our body, that shock our system, because our body doesn't like shocks. Our body may like surprises, but good surprises, but not the kind that the rug is going to be pulled from with under us without us being able to plan. And so this is why I chose music for this week, because music has so many different caveats that we're going to learn each day that affect us in our everyday life. So just to review before we wrap up tonight, music and life have a beat. Keep the beat, keep it going, and you'll be grounded and present. Find the rhythm in music, in life, and keep it going. Once you got the rhythm, you'll start to adjust and become part of a flow state, because you're in the moment, because things are timeless, because you're just enjoying life. Adapt to the rhythm. Understand the flow will create more harmony. That harmony will attract more good things into your life, whether it's resources, people, money, etc. And rhythmic consistency is one of the major keys for progress. So consistent effort is the key to moving forward, and we keep the beat steady and the progress going every single day. If we don't keep the progress going every single day consistently, okay, A, we're going to lose motivation. B, we're going to burn out. If we try to do too many things in one day, we are going to burn out hands down. Ladies and gentlemen, in case you don't know who I am by now, by the way, check out BelieveMeAchieve.com for more of my amazing, inspiring creations. You all see the QR code there. You can go to the website on my hat, BelieveMeAchieve.com. I want to thank you so much for being here with me tonight. And I also want to invite you to check out BelieveMeAchieve.com. Check out some of the shorts. I know maybe you can't always watch the long 15 minutes or the 50-minute shows. check out the shorts and then find the ones that resonate with you and then go watch those full shows, whether it be the podcast or whether it be the video cast, whatever it is. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am Mr. John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It's such a privilege, pleasure, and honor to be with you this fantastic Sunday in our second day of this brand new master topic that we've been talking about, music. And music is very key, ladies and gentlemen. Music is key. And what we're learning this week about music, like I said to you, is priceless. You didn't know that music has so many things to teach us, that there are so many ways our life can get better when we embrace music, because music is a structure, just like life is a structure. But we have to be in a structure in a way that doesn't make us feel that we're in a structure. Does that make sense? Have yourself a great rest of your evening, everyone. And I'm going to catch you guys on one of our next shows or our next videos real soon. Take care, ladies and gentlemen, and be well.